broadcast. I'm joined by Mezentseva. She's a Ukrainian MP and head of the Ukrainian delegation to the Council of Europe Parliamentary Assembly. I'm also joined by Dr. Swasti Rao, Associate Fellow at IDSA. Good evening to both of you ladies. Maria, let me start with you first. There are reports coming in that President Zelensky is facing rebellion from his own soldiers. Is that true? What is happening in Ukraine?
This is not true, and thank you for this opportunity to explain. I'm reporting from the city center of Kharkiv, my home city. There are severe attacks on the northern part of the region by Russian troops, and we were expecting some of these developments because the surveillance could see that there is around 45,000 Russian troops next to the border with Ukraine up in the north of Kharkiv region. Currently, the morale of Ukrainian soldiers is high, and they're counterattacking. The small villages, there is about 8 villages that are temporary under Russian occupation, so they're trying to make a buffer zone. Daily basis, Russian army is shelling this city of Kharkiv, which is 1.3 million people, and smaller towns across the region, targeting school, hospitals, private houses. Just yesterday evening, our city Kharkiv was targeted with air bombs, leaving dozens wounded and at least 1,200 apartments, which you can see on the screen, without doors and windows. That is, of course, very disturbing, and it means the massive war crimes are continuing to be conducted by the Russian army against civilians. So they are not even
But Maria, let me then also understand from you what explains President Zelensky cancelling all his engagements for the time being. If this was expected and there was no issue on ground, what makes President Zelensky completely cancel all his engagements?
I have not had any kind of this information, neither coming from the office of the president. President Zelensky continues his brave international diplomacy. I would like to take your attention to the fact that we're expecting peace summit in June in Switzerland, where, of course, Indian counterparts are also invited, and many others across the globe. It must be really a global summit for peace, as a first step to understanding that war crimes have to be addressed. The crime of aggression, which Russia is conducting since 2014, has to be addressed by creating a special tribunal for war criminals. Of course, you see every war crime and it's registered. There are victims of different type of even sexual violence, forcible disappearance. Let's not forget about around 20,000 deported children, Ukrainian children who were forcibly transferred to Russia for the reason of safety, so-called. And ecocide, you see burning trees, you see land full of wounds because of artillery and Russian bombs, which are hurting our nature and fauna. So President Zelensky continues his diplomacy. Yesterday, there was a visit of Secretary of State, Mr. Blinken. They spoke about air defense, which can cover not only the territory of Kharkiv region, but all of Ukraine, and these are systems Patriot. And I would like to say every country like India and others can participate in peace formula, because as United Nations calculated, it caused difficulties to different population in more than 90 countries and about 2 billion people on the planet Earth. It's also about food safety, energy security, and other things.